I just wanted to document sort of what I'm going through and why I'm so fearful. Just have it. Tell my story, and anybody sees it, share it with my Facebook friends. Or I may just put it on YouTube for other people going through similar situation. Well, that's hard to imagine. Really, the biggest demon in my life has always been what if. But I've always been okay physically. That's never been an issue till this year. I was bit by a tick in April, and thinking back on it, I didn't take it seriously enough, obviously. Anyways, there's a bunch of what ifs if I would have done this. But I ended up not doing anything about it, and even if I discovered the tick on my chest, didn't think much of it, even though my mom had said something about Lyme disease, and I had looked it up and figured that if I had the bullseye rash, then that meant I had a problem. I didn't really have a bullseye rash, unless the bite wasn't going away, and I still didn't do anything about it. But, I ended up getting some symptoms of indigestion and constipation, slight symptoms, and figured it had something to do with the Lymes. So I went in and got checked. And they put me on doxycycline, 100 milligrams. Well, the first batch seemed to help a little, clear me up. Second batch didn't do much. Indigestion and constipation came back. And that's one of the things about Lyme's, is it's hard to focus. I don't know if it's the combination of that and anxiety and stress, but it's really hard to keep a train of thought. Anyways, the symptoms came back, and I just couldn't figure out why I was so constipated. And though I think originally I went to get for the Lymes because the bite was still there. It wasn't really because I was having indigestion. I can't remember. Anyways, I ended up having some more severe symptoms and just getting backed up, eating more. I remember being at my mom's and complaining of chest pain. When I got home that night, the chest pain was so bad, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I thought I was having a heart attack. I panicked, called the ambulance, took me to the hospital, said I had heartburn, sent me on my way. About a week later, the same thing started happening, except having a lot of pain in my lower left stomach. Went to the hospital, they said I had diverticulitis. Which wasn't true. I was just backed up. Lack of motility from the Lymes or something just clogged in there. Something from the Lymes. So they gave me Cipro, metronidazole. Ended up taking the Cipro. The very first time I took it, I had a very strong reaction to it. And called my mom up and told her about it. She urged me to keep taking my medicine. My father wanted me to go get a colonic, the natural way to clear it out. But I did not continue to take the Cipro and have reactions. Continue to be in pain, continue to not be able to go to the bathroom despite enemas, straining very hard at the toilet. So laying on my bed, I developed, in the heat of the Cipro, you could say, real bewilderment and a lot of pain. This was after I had been in so much pain, I went back to a gastro and hobbled into the office, asked him what I should do, and he said to keep taking my Cipro till the inflammation goes down. So I went back, kept taking my Cipro. And that's when the real villain stepped in. The real worry that I have. I developed a spasm. I thought it was a twitch at the time, but just all of a sudden, laying there, zonked out on the Cipro after I'd had pains in my forearms and back right side of my neck. That's when thinking back on it, that's when the spasm started. I mean, I know that part, but I remember distinctly feeling it strong in the back right of my neck, which is, I don't know if that's odd to feel it that strongly when your neck feels stuff from your body all the time. Anyways, after I developed that twitch, I began to panic because I couldn't get it to stop. I just couldn't sleep with it. It would just kick me back up. My leg would kick up. It was just in pain, and you're just in a different arena when you're on antibiotics. I had noticed that the sunlight, my skin was very sensitive to sunlight, and I was super weak when I went to the drugstore. So once that spasm started, I tried to stop it, but I couldn't. Certain positions of my leg seemed like it stopped for a little bit. And I had belatedly scheduled a colonic for that day, but I couldn't wait. I just went to the hospital to get an enema, which is what they should have done in the first place. When I first went to the hospital, he had said something about an enema, but they rather prescribed me drugs and say I had diverticulitis. And put me on Cipro. This is an antibiotic used for infections, which I never had a